We are in the Imperial Hotel. This is the last place that Michael Collins spent his final night on Earth before he was assassinated. Michael Collins, also known as the Big Fella, was a charismatic leader who fought for Ireland's freedom in the 1916 Easter Rising at the GPO in Dublin. During the War of Independence, he organised the supply of weapons and developed an intelligence system to collect information about military plans. The Irish revolutionary leader's tactical and strategic mastery of urban guerrilla warfare has continued to be an influence and shows what a determined minority could do against an oppressive system of domination. He is remembered as a uniter, not a divider. Let us be judged for what we attempted rather than for what we achieved. He negotiated Ireland's break with England, eventually taking command of the National Army on the outbreak of the Civil War. On the last day of his life, the 22nd of August 1922, he set out from the Imperial Hotel in Cork. His convoy was ambushed in Bailnabla, the mouth of Flowers. Only one man was killed. It was Michael Collins. He was only 31 years of age. His fiancée, Kitty Kiernan, would live on and eventually marry and have children. She named her second son Michael Collins and requested that on the time of her death, she be buried close to the Big Fella. Her resting place is only 6 graves away from Michael Collins in Glasnevin Cemetery, Dublin. All this and more is the reason I've brought you to the Michael Collins suite in the Imperial Hotel, Cork. Hello, welcome to this episode of Strange Happenings, and today we're in a very, very special location, and we're here today because of Andrew, aren't we?
Well, I meddled, but yes, we're actually here because it was your birthday yesterday. And so, well, would you like to tell them where we are?
We are in the Imperial Hotel. This is the last place that Michael Collins spent his final night on Earth before he was assassinated. This is the location where he spent his last 2 nights alive.
And it's in Cork City. It's very famous for a couple of other people. So Grace Kelly, also known as Princess Grace of Monaco, was here. The restaurant is, I believe, kind of named, or not named after her, but certainly influenced by her. There's quotes from her all over the walls and sketches on the menu and so on. The restaurant's actually called Sketch. And there's a Grace Kelly cocktail that is only available in the Imperial Hotel in their bar. Very worth a try. You enjoyed it?
Oh, very much.
And there's also Frederick, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, if it's Douglas or Douglas, because there's 2 S's at the end, but that's another person. He's got like a drawing room dedicated to him that you have to be a resident of the hotel to enter, but he was very much involved in like the abolition of like slavery. You know, they all seem to come back here, especially to this particular hotel. But what we were hoping to do, because we have the suite where Michael Collins spent his last 2 nights alive, we were hoping to see if we could make contact with him. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So we're going to set up now and see if we can make contact. I thought it was strange that you asked me to bring my paranormal gear because I didn't know anything about this until we arrived in Cork. So it was a big surprise for me. I couldn't believe it. And we only found out that the last time we were in Cork, a few months back, that Michael Collins actually spent his last 2 nights here. We seen the picture downstairs in the lobby. Beautiful picture that's it's huge. It's on the wall, and you had pointed it out. And it was only then that we realized that the significance of this hotel. So it's kind of a dream come true, really, to get to be in the Michael Collins suite.
They only did this almost a year ago. So as we're filming, it's the 5th of July, and and I think it was August last year that they actually did this. So this room, they obviously knew it was the room that he stayed in. They're going to leave it vacant on August 22nd.
22nd, yes.
Which is the anniversary, as like a mark of respect, so no one will be able to book it on that date. But what was interesting is the first person who got to stay in the room is his grandniece, Fidelma Collins, and there's a guest book over on the dresser. Everyone who stayed here has written their names in it, so we'll definitely be doing that as well before we leave. But she's the first name in it, and so actually when we looked it up, she was actually a relative of his, and so she got to stay here first and be part of the opening, which was a year ago next month. So yeah, it's very historic, but also a very new experience that's available. So yeah, hopefully we can bring some of that good experience to you.
Okay, let's see if we get anything. So we have our experiment set up, ready to go. We've got our REM pod, and if anything comes over or near this, it will actually sound off, and the lights will flash up. We've also got our beautiful michaelcollins bust here with all the books. And when we move over to, if we move over to our cat balls, so if anything interacts with them at all, it'll flash to let us know that there's someone there. And we've also got our EMF, our quartz crystal, and our spirit box. So our EMF will detect any fluctuations in the electromagnetic field, and the spirit box will actually go up and down through the channels and use the static. Our spirits can use the static to send messages through, to tell us things, and we'll be doing the Estes method, I think, maybe later with that. If there's anybody here with us in this room, you can come closer, and you can make this device flash to let us know that you're here. You can come closer. Calling out to the spirits here in the Imperial Hotel. Specifically Michael Collins, if you are here, as this was the last place you spent your final night before you were assassinated. If you're here, you can come forward and you can make this device flash to let us know that you're here. It's very quiet.
Why don't we move around and see where in the room might actually come up?
Yeah, let's do a little walk around.
Okay.
You did have a kind of sensation earlier on, didn't you? You kind of felt that there was something, like a presence over here.
Just in that walkway.
Let's see. If there's anybody there, you can make this device flash to let us know that you're here. Calling out to any of the spirits of the Imperial Hotel that reside in this hotel. You can make yourself known, and you can make this device flash to let us know that you're here. Oh, it's very quiet, Andrew. Very, very quiet.
Move it around over the bed, so to the end of the bed. like in between. Only because that would be in between the two mirrors.
Oh, good idea. The two mirrors, portals. If anyone has mirrors at home, just be careful facing mirrors towards each other. It can sometimes act as a portal and things can come and go as they please, and it can kind of keep you awake at night. Oh,
That flash?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the line of the mirrors.
Yeah, in the line of the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for making this. Thank you for communicating with us. You can make this device flash again just to let us know that you're here. I'd really, really appreciate it if you can do that. My name is Colin, and this is Andrew. That was very fleeting. When I was saying about the mirrors being portals, I'm sure that flashed.
We can check the footage back, but just
Yeah.
kind of move around in that general area and see. I'm surprised that this walkway kind of didn't come up with much.
I'm very surprised.
Maybe they had an exorcism.
I missed it.
It's very faint anyway.
And it was there, though. It was where you were saying. Oh, thank you so much for making this device flash to let us know you're here. Can you please make this device flash again to let us know that you're here? We really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. It's an acknowledgement that there's something, but they're not willing to come forward.
It's very faint though, and so is the other one, so I'm not even sure there's even something in this room as such.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do feel like, I don't know if this is the right method.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that we need to try something different and see if we get...
Do you want to try the Estes method?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm calling out to any of the spirits that's here in the Imperial Hotel. You can go closer to Andrew and you can use the device he has in his hand to communicate with us. Can I ask, did you work in this hotel? Were you a visitor in this hotel?
Thomas Rayner.
Thank you, Thomas. Are you from Cork? Are you from somewhere else? And Thomas, did you work in Cork?
Helen.
Helen. Was
Grandma.
Helen was your grandmother? Did your grandmother live here? Did she live in Cork?
Derry.
Derry.
Priest. Vermana.
You're from Derry? Your family is from Derry? Is there a Derry priest here in the Imperial Hotel? Is there a spirit of a Derry priest here in the Imperial Hotel?
Friends.
Friends, okay. Hello. Thank you for communicating with us. My name is Colin, and that's Andrew. We're very pleased to talk to you. We'd love to know more about your life here. Did you enjoy being in this place?
I believe
Okay.
Sunday afternoon.
Would you have come to the Imperial Hotel on Sundays?
Friday.
Oh, on Friday. So Mass on Sunday and the Imperial Hotel on Friday. Is there something that brings you back to this place? Did you have many happy times here? Did you have many happy memories?
An awful lot more.
Oh, that's beautiful. This place here, because of all those wonderful memories that you had, that's the tether that keeps you coming back. Did you know that Michael Collins stayed here in this room? Do you know of him? Do you know of Michael Collins?
Like him. Project.
Do you like what we're doing? Do you like us communicating with you?
Can't resist.
You can't resist. Are you happy?
Questions. Need help.
Oh, do you need help? Do you need our help? Are you stuck? Are you stuck here? If you need our help, just let us know. Tell me, do you need our help?
I know I can move.
You can. You can pass on. Yes, you can.
Hanging on.
Any of your loved ones that have passed on, they're waiting on you, they're there. You don't need to hang on. You can move on. Your loved ones are there. Yeah, I feel that. getting pins and needles all up my back.
Dancing.
Yes. Yes, they are. There's a lot of love waiting for you. You can go. You can move on.
Today.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gone? Have you passed over?
Done the job.
Are you happy?
All for her.
What was her name? Who was she?
I'll always be.
You'll always love her. It's gone very quiet now. I feel like he has passed on. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for communicating with us. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye. Andrew, it's okay, it's okay. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay. Did you stop filming?
Okay, so the Estes method is just after finishing up. What do you feel?
I kind of feel lightheaded weirdly because I'm sitting down. I don't know what you were asking. I don't know if that made sense. I didn't feel like I was following much of a conversation, but I did. You probably aren't going to know this from camera anyway, but I swear there was one or two times where someone was like stroking the back of my hair just at the very back, then like once at the top, and at one point, this like was almost like,
Yeah.
not like you wouldn't see it, but I felt it was almost. But I had them on properly because like they were sitting into the frame.
Yes.
But it was almost like it just like popped.
Wow.
Yeah, it was almost like someone was like, as I was trying to kind of invite them closer, it was almost like they were behind me. So I was, that feels, I kind of only feel like I'm coming back to myself now. So I don't know what you got.
I think there were spirits that were different ones that I think was coming in. There was a male one.
I got Thomas, was that a name?
Thomas, and apparently he liked you.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so that's when you got, obviously that
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
okay.
so that makes sense. He was like, he must have been connecting with you. And then I felt like...
Oh, did you feel stuff?
I felt right down the back of me, like a shiver, but like pins and needles.
Touched by a ghost.
Yeah, down, like right down the back of my head, right down my back. Yeah, so I think he...
Does he need help?
So I asked, do you need help? Are you stuck here? And so I done the kind of like visualization and invited, you know.
Yeah, there was. I don't know what you were doing, but I could kind of see gold.
Okay.
There was sort of, or I don't know if like something about golden was coming in.
Yeah.
That's usually like a higher vibration color, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So do you think you just helped someone
I think
pass
so.
on?
I think we did. Yeah. I think we did.
Because it was very quiet with the. I didn't think the EVP was going to pick up anything for some reason. I don't think they can all use that, but that seemed to. Because you remember Howard Bury wasn't that great with coming through with the Estes method for a while, but he really was liking the cat balls and the EVP. This is like almost the opposite.
Yeah. The thing is, when I asked, has he passed on, and he said okay. So he was still interacting, but he was hanging on for her.
Who?
I think it was someone he loves. But I said...
Actually, come to think of it, the word love and loving did come up like twice, actually. To me, I don't know if I said that, but I do remember that now, that those words did come up.
So, that's what I was saying, you don't have to... He was hanging on. I said, you don't have to hang on. Your loved ones are waiting on you, you know.
Okay.
They're there. And then... that's when, you know, I'd done the visualization, and he said dancing. You said dancing.
Yeah.
So I think that's when. So I think he has passed on.
Okay.
We can always.
We have other things we can check using anyway.
But he obviously came to us because he needed help.
That's really interesting.
Let's go and get dinner.
So I'm just going to use the dowsing crystal just to sort of read the energy of the room and see if there's actually a spirit still here or if it's been moved on. So what's my yes? Thank you. What's my no? Has the spirit from this room passed on? Okay, that's yes. So he has, whoever he was. If anyone knows the name Thomas Rayner, I think if that was his full name. If anyone has any ideas who that might be, feel free to leave us a message. So last night I thought I heard a man humming, just lightly and just twice, quite close together, but it didn't sound like it was coming from sort of another room. It felt like it was actually coming from like this part of the room, which is, there was that, and then there was the sort of this feeling, a sensation, and also seeing a shadow down in the walkway that we looked at earlier. So that was what gave me the idea that there might be somebody here. We weren't sure who it was. We just kind of assumed it might be Michael Collins because of the room that it is. But now, having kind of, you know, done a bit of a clearing, it kind of seems that that's actually, you know, been the man who's moved on. But the humming I thought was quite an interesting thing to hear, because we were kind of saying it might have been someone that stayed in this room, but it was because of the kind of work that we were doing in this room that draws spirits to your location. So they do say, if anyone watching does this kind of thing as well, that when you do this kind of work, you light up to them and they are kind of drawn to you. So, you know, that could have been a spirit somewhere else in the hotel that kind of, you know, was drawn to what we were doing, that kind of call out. You know, so you do tend to light up, and we do the longer we've been doing this, the more we do actually tend to attract these things. Good things in a way. So that's just another thing to kind of be aware of, that, perhaps it's not necessarily the place that you're in that's haunted, it's that the work you're doing there is attracting, entities that might want to communicate or might even need your help. So always something to keep in mind.
So it was a very interesting investigation. Although we didn't make contact with Michael Collins, we did make contact with another spirit called Thomas Rayner. And he was very clear about that name came through very, very quickly. When I was asking the questions, it was really interesting how he was given names of, he gave Helen, talked about Helen, and that he was kind of hanging on for someone. It's funny when we open things up and we're trying to communicate with other spirits, that doesn't necessarily go to plan, and other spirits see it as an opportunity to come in and seek the help that they need. When we were doing the Estes method, Andrew, actually, you became very quiet. You were in an absolute trance.
Yeah, I don't think I realised until afterwards. The camera was off, but you came over and kind of like almost woke me up, and that's the only way I could describe it. It felt like waking up out of a deep sleep, but I didn't realise I was in one. But I was aware of, like, it felt like there was, it's not even like there was a person behind me, but there was like something behind me where it was like, I felt like, physical touch, and also the bottom of my legs got very, very cold, which was the other thing. It was almost like just like a breeze had like come in through them, sort of them further into it we got, which I think is kind of like what I like about an area where we can control in terms of there's no interruptions, like people aren't going to be walking in. It's like we have this room, like, so we could really get into the Estes method and take our time with it. So I think you feeling them physical sensations was quite interesting, especially because it didn't really turn up on the EVP. There was no reading, no EMF readings, no sorry, EMF, that's what I meant. Well, we can look back and we can see if we have any EVP, but it was a very, very interesting investigation, and just to be here in this room, it's a piece of history. It's a piece of history. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. It's been an amazing birthday, and I'm just so grateful to be here in this space, and just to be in the same space that Michael Collins was in, that, he slept here, and, what was going through his head on those last nights here. It's just fascinating. But
the hotel as well is like famous for, Charles Dickens, Grace Kelly. A lot of people who've really enjoyed this hotel. So it's nice to be here anyway.
If anyone's coming to Cork, definitely call into the Imperial Hotel. Even if it's just for a cocktail, if it's just for a scone, coffee, it's definitely a wonderful experience. It's a beautiful place, and it's a beautiful city. There's a lovely energy around the city. It definitely feels so nice to be here. But thank you for watching this episode of Strange Happenings. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content in the future. And remember, strange is beautiful.